Action.
What's up, everybody? It's Pete
And I'm Jay.
from So Many Shows, SoManyShows.com.
And we are here to talk about The Blacklist. Premiere episode number 1 in season 5, Smokey Putman. And you know, the way we're going to do this today is we're just going to talk about the episode real fast, break down what happened. We're going to talk about the characters, and then we're going to tell you what we think about stuff, what questions we have, what questions maybe you have, and we'll go from there. So the episode in itself, we see Reddington. He's broke, he's poor, he's no longer the criminal overlord. You see the FBI, that whole team, things are kind of shifting around. You see Elizabeth Keene's relationship with Red is now changed, knowing that this is in fact her father. And they have a new mission, Smokey Putnam, who is ultimately a guy who stole some money from some people he shouldn't have stolen some money from. And long story short, after becoming a quick bounty hunter to track him down, Reddington actually enlists him to join I guess we'll call it his new criminal empire. So again, real quick, that's kind of it in a nutshell. Let's talk about the characters.
All right, I guess we'll start with Raymond Reddington, who appears to be living in a hotel, beautiful hotel, but does he own it or is he broke?
He obviously has no money. I don't want to say obviously because it is Raymond Reddington. I feel like he knows the guy that owns the hotel, or maybe he killed the guy that owns the hotel. I don't want to say. I don't know. But he's obviously been in this hotel, travel lodge, motor lodge, whatever it is, and he's been there for a while because everybody knows him. Like, hey, Raymond. Hey, how are you guys? Let's go swimming. A very totally different Raymond Reddington than we're used to seeing.
Well, we even saw him throw change for 2 hours, he said, to some child in the pool.
Something like that, yeah, man. Like, wow. Maybe he's practicing to be the grandfather he needs to be.
He's a lot more relaxed, I'll tell you that much. Took off his shoes. But then again, that's the first time we saw Reddington being nice to somebody without expecting something in return.
Very true, because you never see that. And even in the rest of the episode, when he's playing bounty hunter and I need to rebuild my empire, he still wasn't quite the Reddington I think that we're all used to. So I think we're going to see some changes with Mr. Reddington as we go along.
Liz too.
For sure. She was very – you could see the whole father thing was affecting her. It's kind of on her mind. This is a new relationship. You know, we heard her say something in the episode about how, like, even if you're my father and blah, 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 we're going to do all this together, I'm still going to be me. Well, what is me?
Apparently you is different, and we'll get to that in a second, but let's talk about the new power couple, Agent Navabi and Aram.
These things never work out, Pete.
Well, I want to believe that they're going to go more than one episode this season. Normally it's one episode, maybe in the beginning, one at the end, but then they always break up or have a problem or a fight. Now they're together, and they seem like they're going to be together for at least the season. So,
oh, you think so?
Pretty. There's not really many new couples in the show, and there's a possibility of a wedding.
That's true. I don't know. They're acting like they're really into each other, and it's a serious thing, especially since now Aram officially took it to Harold and said, hey, we're kind of dating. Which, that's so cute, whatever. But listen, Aram, don't do it, man. You don't date the people you work with. There's too much conflict. There's too many headaches. There's too many problems, and you can't fight at work. Okay, you got bad guys to catch. There's no time for this.
It all goes back to the old saying, don't poop where you eat.
You're not kidding.
Either way, you got my blessings, Agent Navabi and Aram. The best of luck to you guys. So you want to talk a little Harold Cooper?
I love Harold, man. He's such a good guy. And he really, no matter what's going on, he's trying to do the right thing, whether it's for the Bureau as a whole or his team. And you can kind of see him juggling those two things sometimes. And he's got these decisions to make now with new leadership coming in and, of course, finding Hitchens' body that he's got to make sure his team's okay. He's got to make sure Elizabeth's okay. Knows that he's probably got to tell the higher-ups up there that, hey, you should probably know there's a DNA test and
The
So,
DNA test that he did illegally.
well, that's a whole nother thing. But that doesn't have to come out, just that it was done, right?
This is true.
It is the FBI. They can kind of do whatever they want.
All right, so should we go to our blacklister of the episode?
Yeah, let's do it.
Our blacklister, Smokey Putnam. He's an embezzler. And he's crafty.
Yeah, when you watch the episode, at least for me, every episode you get the little the number. So we got Smokey Putnam, number 30. I'm like, ooh, number 30. This guy is like a top dog. He's got a good number. And then it's this kind of jorky looking. I stole some money from a carnival, but it really wasn't. It was really from a cartel, and now they're going to kill me. And complicated guy, stole money from the wrong people. And interestingly enough, of course, he's now going to be part of Raymond's new empire. And for me, he's no Dembe.
Well, Dembe isn't exactly an embezzler, right? He's more muscle.
Well, I mean, that's true, but I expect my bad guys to look bad.
Well, let me ask you another question. The reason why Putnam started taking the money in the first place, did you believe his story, and did you feel for him?
I don't believe any bad guy's story. It's all there's always a story and then another story, and then the story changes, and then you find out the truth, and it's never the same. And you know what? Regardless of the story and whether true or not, you are what you are, for better or for worse. So he is an embezzler. He is a bad guy, whether he was doing it for right or wrong. I don't know. We'll see how it all fits into Raymond's plan, because obviously he's got something going on up there.
Well, I will say one thing about Putnam is that I said it before. He's crafty. He escaped like twice in this episode when he was being watched by multiple people.
Like, how does this? And made me so mad. They're in the train station, and you get that whole, "Hey, can I pee?" No, you can't do that. I promise I won't escape. Okay. What? Elizabeth Keene, what are you doing? How do you fall for that?
Yeah. I watch these episodes and I tell myself, like, I would have never let this happen if I was in that position, but yet they all do these bonehead moves in every show where it's like, why would you do that? It's like the scary movie when the first time you see something crazy, you leave.
Right.
You leave. That's it.
Right. Let me walk downstairs where it's nice and dark and there's no other exit. Yeah, I don't know.
You don't let a criminal who you're trying to bring in to see a judge who could be chased.
Right.
I guess it was mafiosos, right, during the episode?
Some big bad dudes.
Yeah, the cartel's going after him that he embezzled the money from, and you're going to let this guy pee? Like, no, you should be hiding him.
Right. Especially because he knows that train is coming. Reddington, I think, at the time, he was outside looking for a car. So he knew they were about to leave. So obviously, this is his chance to go. And then again, he does it again. Hey, can I borrow your phone? I just want to make a quick phone call to Tammy Lynn real quick and say goodbye.
The only thing to his defense is that if he's going to jail where he thinks he's going to get killed in jail anyway, he's got nothing to lose. That's just on Elizabeth Keene and Raymond Reddington to not give him that much flex.
Yeah, but how about Raymond Reddington, who needs him, apparently, and is going to use him in this new empire? What are you doing? Especially Raymond. You are smarter than that, Red. You are smarter than that.
You know what that tells me? New Red and new Elizabeth, more relaxed, more sloppy. That's how problems get very huge very quick. Get sloppy.
Be bad then. He's got to step up his game.
Speaking of sloppy, how about Wrestler unfolding this whole episode? This poor guy, or should I say, this is what you get.
Very true. So you saw they got the text message. Hinchin's body's been found. He finds out that the body is where he left it, even though he paid the man to get rid of it.
Well, he paid the man to get rid of evidence that he committed the murder, right? Or was it to get rid of the body?
I think it was all of the above, or at least in his mind, it was all of the above. Body would be gone, murder would be gone, scene would be gone, and so of course he loses his mind, especially after finding out that there's a security system in the house.
Yep.
And goes to visit him and gives him a hard time, and the guy's like, "Whoa, I'm good. I got this. If I told you it's going away, it's going away." And sure enough, he was right. It did go away. The coroner or whoever found that, it was an accidental death. And so for a brief, tiny, just little brief second, wrestler got to have that sigh of relief before, of course,
boom.
Oh, right.
Well, my man Prescott, who is our new cleaner and who is in this season, as I predicted on our last vidcast, he did a little sly job because in the beginning of the episode, he's calling him Mr. Sturgeon.
Right.
And then wrestler kept pushing the fact to the point where Prescott's like, why is this guy so interested in what's going on in this investigation? So he does some research of his own and runs the prints and finds out that he's wrestler. That's how things go really bad really quick.
And of course, he tells him straight up, "You're going to do whatever I say from here on out." And what's wrestler going to say?
Well, it's not what he's going to say. It's what wrestler has to do now. We talk about moral compasses being broken.
Very true. And Donald, jeez.
What are you doing?
Terrible.
So, a thing I noticed, and this has nothing to do with the show really, but a character. Who's the actress that plays Elizabeth?
Megan Boone.
Okay. Now, she had a baby, right? Like during the off season?
Of course.
Okay. Now, I've watched this show this is my 5th year. And I got to say, just personally as a dude, Liz has never looked better.
Does she always look good?
Nah, she looks better. She has a different look to her this season. I don't know if it's her personality's more relaxed, so she's becoming more likable for me, or if it's just that she's doing it up. She's eating right, but she looks good. I noticed it. I never noticed Liz like that. She's always just a character. I was like, whoa, not bad for somebody who just came off having a baby.
But maybe too, her character too is in a much more relaxed state too. She's not as stressed. She knows who her dad is. No big deal. The FBI's out of trouble. So,
well, that was my second point. I've never liked Raymond Reddington more than I did in this episode because he's more relaxed. So him and Elizabeth are both more relaxed and both more likable. However, for what they're trying to do, like I said before, sloppy is what happens when you get relaxed. You get sloppy. You can't let go. You got to be on guard at all times when you're doing stuff like what they're doing.
Especially when you're a top dog criminal overlord.
And not even that. It seems like the FBI is way comfortable with contacting Red and making a deal of what's going on. Right. It just seems like they're all blurry inside those lines of what's right and what's wrong, and is it best for the FBI or is it what's best for them as individuals? Because they're not following protocol at all, right?
Not even a little bit. It's whatever works.
And Cooper's got to go disclose all this stuff now.
That's right.
Lucky for them, they shut down the investigation. Because now they're not going to look into their thing with Red and how he's giving them Blacklist is and, all the information.
Yeah, it's all got to stay hush. You got to do it the right way.
Very small appearance from Dembe this episode. What did you think about that?
Yeah, my man Dembe, man. You see him for all of 38 seconds, maybe.
But what he said was the most important thing.
What, that they can't find the briefcase?
No. Hello, Elizabeth. How are you? Yes, of course it's the briefcase.
Lord, man. What's wrong with you?
Of course it's the briefcase. What do you want to say? Oh, Dembe was the man. He came and got a drink?
Like, no, you made me think, holy moly, did I miss the poor guy's line? Like, what did he say? Raymond, I'm your father, too.
What I do, I make you think.
Well, thanks. I don't do that on my own. You're right.
All right. So I noticed, well, we all noticed, and you noticed, that at the end of the episode, Tom Keene is back.
Yes.
And he's with the suitcase. Now, there's a couple things that I did a little bit of research. The Blacklist Redemption was canceled, which means that they put Tom Keene on for a full season. So we're going to get a whole big dab of Tom Keene thrown at us. Yeah. And Tom Keene controls the suitcase.
For now.
Now, I still don't think we're going to see the fate of the suitcase till episode 11. Thoughts?
You know, I was okay with your theory about that before, but man, that suitcase was front and center at the end of this episode already.
Now, is it going to be front and center at the end of every episode?
I don't know. I guess we'll see, man. I don't know what to think about that. I thought you're probably right. We'll probably have to wait to that mid-season finale kind of da-da-da. Now, I actually didn't think I was going to see the suitcase this episode. I thought maybe it'd be hinted at or whatever, but I didn't realize that it's going to be in her living room.
Yes. Thank you.
Hello? And Tom's all like, let me just push it out of the way.
Well, he was going to say something. What do you think he was going to say to her before she told him, Reddington's my father, and we're going to try to make it work, and I'm helping him? What do you think Tom Keene was going to say when he had the suitcase in his hand?
Oh, I think I know exactly what he was going to say. What do you think he was going to say? I know.
I think he was going to say that Reddington somehow killed their mother or did something to He seemed shocked when she said Reddington's her father.
You know why?
Because her real father's in the briefcase?
Boom. He was going to tell you, I know who your father is.
So then that means that Mr. Kaplan was burying up the bones for, what we say, Katerina or Catherine, but not, it wasn't her. It was she's saying sorry because she dug up those bones, probably revealing the secret.
Right. Raymond killed her dad. That's who's in the suitcase.
Now, how many fathers has Elizabeth Keene had in this show?
38.
30 blacklisters, 30 fathers.
Right. That's going to be the new reality show.
All right, now, did you see the previews for next week and the rest of the season?
No, for those that don't know me, I don't watch the previews for the next week or the next season. I like to be surprised. I don't like to think about, because they throw those teasers out there and you're like, oh my God, and then you watch it the next week and you're like, okay, you tricked me, I'm not falling for that again. So I just don't even put myself in that position. But did you watch them? I'm assuming. Of
course, I watch everything, previews, spoilers, anything I can get my hands on, I'm on. I don't try to ruin spoilers for people, but I get my hands on things, and if they want to hear it, I'm going to tell them. So this preview was out there. It's not a spoiler.
Right.
You can look it up on any YouTube or anything, CBS.
What did you take from it?
I saw Tom Keene getting what it seemed like harassed, tortured, being asked about the suitcase, and I believe that it's Raymond Reddington doing it. However, like you said, that could just be a scene of Tom Keene and a scene of Reddington with two totally different situations.
Two different things, right.
Now, you did bring up earlier, we're not on the vidcast, but you brought up to me personally when we discussed in the episode for the first time that you stopped it a few times during the episode to see the end with the blurriness of who Reddington killed.
Yeah, that whole ending scene where Elizabeth and Tom are talking about he's the dad, and at first I thought we were seeing like a flashback, a memory of Reddington and Dembe coming in and shooting or killing somebody or whatever, and you see the guy on the floor, and I was like, who in the heck is that? Like, who? And so for real, I rewind, watch it again, rewind, watch it again, rewind, and I even asked my wife, I'm like, who is dead? Who is getting shot? And so to the point where, like, really I'm in front of my TV like this, trying to see who it is, and I'm trying to match up the eyes, and it's Tom. So is this now not a flashback, but maybe a glimpse into the future that he's got this suitcase, they're coming for him, they're going to kill him? What?
So you think it could be a flash forward?
Correct.
And if it's a flash forward, that would make sense with him getting tortured and then eventually killed looking for this briefcase. Apparently, it's the most important thing on Raymond Reddington's mind.
Right. And, the other thing that I thought about it, too, because, your mind races and you're like, oh, my God, Raymond's going to go kill Tom. Then I'm thinking about, well, you see him take the shots and you see Tom lying on the ground, but was Tom already on the ground and Raymond is actually there to save him? Because, it's the Blacklist. Anything's possible.
I agree with that. It could be very easily a saving moment where he sees Tom Keene on the floor after he shoots and picks him up and cleans him up, because it wouldn't be the first time Tom Keene died but didn't die.
Yeah, that's too bad. Tom Keene can go.
No, he can come back to our show full time and maybe have a season 9 finale, a series finale where he killed Reddington.
What? What did you say? What? You want me to hang up on you, man?
Yeah.
So next week, it'll be the Blacklist episode 2 with Just Jay.
As long as you're talking about Tom King killing Reddington, I will watch it.
Man. So what questions were you left with this episode? Because I got a bunch.
I mean, it was a good episode. It had action the whole time. I see really bad things happening for Raymond Reddington and Elizabeth Keene very soon because, like I said, everything came up them. You got to see their new personalities. You got to see them relax.
Sure.
I think they're going to have to get something right in their mouth, a punch right in the mouth, where it's just such a hard shot to take that you have to see Reddington resort to tactics that make him Reddington. And even Elizabeth, she seemed a lot more relaxed when she was going to shoot the guy, and Reddington's like, she ain't going to shoot an unarmed man walking out in the back, and she didn't. So you still see that even though she's,
right.
I think that's going to be a big factor in, how hard do they get hit and how does Elizabeth react, and do they stay so sloppy or do they learn their lessons and clean up real fast? I really want to see where they progress because, like I said, I kind of was down on the show a little bit, and then of season 4. And then, I started watching watching it again a little bit more. And then after this episode, I'm all in again, full speed. So I'm excited. The episode did what it had to do for its loyal viewers over the last 4 years. It brought us back into what made the Blacklist great in the first place. And I'm really looking forward to whatever they bring for the rest of the season, even unveiling the suitcase mystery while they kill 1,000 blacklisters during the show.
Right. All right, so I have some questions, some things that I took from this that I need answers to, or I hope to get some answers to, or maybe even things that don't make sense to me. Number 1, why is he still not telling Elizabeth everything? Why is he still playing that game of, oh, I'm just going to play a bounty hunter because I need rent? Why can't he say, listen, we're going to go find this dude. We're going to get this dude. We're going to get him out of his jail sentence, and then we're going to hire them to bring him to my criminal empire. So this is what I need you to do.
That's a good question. I was wondering that too the whole episode, because if the plan was that simple and the goal was this and it was all going to work out like this, boom, 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 I don't think there's anything that Elizabeth would have did differently if she knew what was going on.
Right.
So I agree with that. I mean, I thought you meant as far as like, why isn't he telling about the suitcase? But that's a different question.
No. Why is he still doing that Raymond Reddington of, I'm going to tell you this, but I'm really doing this? Like, we're supposed to be partners here.
I'm going to ask you a question then. On the same level, since you're married and I'm not, why isn't Tom King telling Elizabeth right away what's in the suitcase? Saying, Red's not your father, if that's what he had to say, or this is so-and-so, and why is he hiding the suitcase? Why isn't the husband telling the wife everything he knows?
Well, I think you got 2 parts to that. Part 1 is, you saw the look on his face when she was like, hey, he's my dad. And I think part of it is he's like, oh, well, then I'm not going to break your heart just yet. And then part of it, I wonder too, like, how much does he really know? Does he even really know what's in the suitcase, or does he just know he needed to get the suitcase because it was somehow going to give her answers?
That's true. He could have brought it to her like, listen, this is the suitcase that has the answers in it for you. I don't know what they are. But see, now, here's the thing. I noticed that too. Elizabeth was very happy when she walked in and was like, Red's my father. And the scene right before that, she was dancing with Red and everything seemed happy, father-daughter moment. But did you notice how much she was drinking?
No.
She was buzzed. She had at least 3 drinks, and she wasn't. That was, listen, there's mean Elizabeth. There's, the modern day casual Elizabeth. And there's, little tipsy Elizabeth. And I think the end of that episode, we kind of got a little glimpse of tipsy Elizabeth where she can dance with Red and be happy that she's having a dance with her father, which she never thought she'd have.
Yeah. Okay.
I think she's just kind of dealing with the hits. And I'm not saying she's an alcoholic. What I'm saying is she was drinking at the party, and she probably got a little tipsy like everybody does when you don't drink like that and you're stressed out at work and with all the stuff she got going on. And I think she was a little tipsy, and I think that's why she danced, and I think that's why she was so happy to explain to Tom King, like, oh, he's my father and everything's good. I'm going to help him.
Could be. Where is the baby? First thing, My wife said to me, the show's over. Didn't she have a baby? Where is the baby? And, I thought about it. I'm like, that's a good question. And I even told her, I said, I have no idea. She said, don't you watch the show? Where's the baby? I'm like, the baby should have been there. I don't know if there's a babysitter. She obviously came home from work to get home and didn't pick up the baby on the way. Was the baby already home? Where's the baby?
Yep, they didn't show you the baby. The baby could have been in a nursery. I mean, in the baby room in the house, and she could have the sitter. They just didn't bother showing you the baby or the sitter because they're pressed for time. But I mean, I just don't think the baby is relevant in the story that they would tell in this episode, and I think that's going to happen a lot. You're going to see less of the baby when it doesn't need to involve the baby because what was it last season? The baby was all over the episodes.
Right, that's what I'm saying. How do you not have the baby?
Maybe they wanted to tone down the baby a little bit. And like I said, it seemed like they were trying to recreate the Blacklist from what it was great again because like I said, I really enjoyed it. I thought the episode reminded me of the episode number 3, which was one of my favorites, the season 1, episode 3, where you're just like, oh my God, this is great. And this is happening. And this is happening. Can you, this is that episode for me. It really, like I said, I really enjoyed it. And I hope each episode follows this, like in the format of the way it's written.
Fair enough. All right, my last question for you, because we talked about some of the other ones already. What do you think Prescott wants?
He needs a guy. He needs a guy to help him do his job. He's a fixer. He's a cleaner.
Do you think it's that, or do you think he's going to use Wrestler to get to Reddington to get into that empire?
I think that he's doing it so he can have somebody help him clean up his mess. Because who wouldn't want a special agent on their payroll? Especially when you have concrete evidence that will nail them. But I do think that Prescott probably ends up in Reddington's group at some point this season and also gets killed. Rather, it's Reddington doing a favor for Wrestler, and then Wrestler owes Reddington, which I'm sure Wrestler's a lot more comfortable with Reddington knowing his dirty business than, Prescott. But I do think that this Prescott thing isn't going to end well for him, and I'll be surprised if he's alive at the end of the season. If he does, maybe I'll send you $1.
No, I'd be surprised if he's at the end of the season, too. I think Wrestler will terminate him when it comes time.
But he might be able to stay a little bit longer if Reddington picks him up because Reddington doesn't have a new fixer yet. And the last time he needed a fixer, he called Prescott.
True.
Is Prescott his guy on call? Maybe Prescott's his guy the whole time.
Technically, could be, sure. He's going to need somebody, I'm sure, along the way. Probably sooner rather than later.
I have a thought. What if Reddington didn't lose his empire? What if he's just acting like he's rebuilding it so Elizabeth King can feel like she's in on something with her father, like a project?
See, I wondered that too because, in season 4, we saw how Kaplan really dismantled a lot of things. And I think there was even a point where he couldn't use certain passports anymore and, certain bank accounts were either emptied or weren't accessible any longer. But in my mind, if you're that big, huge criminal overlord, you don't have all your eggs even in 10 baskets. They're in 50 baskets. So I kind of wondered the same thing. Is he really as down as out as he appears to be? Is this so that way he doesn't have to give up any real blacklisters right now? And it's Raymond Reddington, so whatever he's doing, there's a reason for it. And the question is, what is that reason?
Well, that's the other question, yeah. Is he just taking a break from giving up blacklisters because he just spent the last 4 years giving up blacklisters every week?
Right. So, I don't know.
I would find it hard to believe that he's actually broke because
me too.
How does he operate like that? Being broke, he would be a little more desperate, I feel. However, he's wanted nothing more than to get, Elizabeth to love him?
Something.
When you're trying to get something so bad for so long and then you finally get it, you understand the sacrifices to get there. And money is not a big factor when it comes to something you really care about or really is passionate about. So he could just be broke and rebuilding it. I do think, though, that he has an ace up his sleeve. He's going to pull it out and flick it on the deck and snake eyes.
Welcome to the Blacklist.
Exactly.
Well, it's been fun, man.
No more questions?
No, man, that's it.
So now we got to wait a whole week to talk about the suitcase and Tom Keen.
Oh no, Tom Keen, man! I hope he's not even in the next episode.
I hope it's all about Tom Keen. An episode dedicated 42 minutes and 37 seconds of Tom Keen.
Oh, that would be terrible. only if he's the blacklister that's about to die.
Imagine that twist. Tom Keen, blacklister.
Number 122. Right.
All right, so listen, you need to like us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You need to subscribe to this channel. You need to leave a comment for me and Jay to tell us what you want to hear about when it comes to Blacklist. And you need to comment to tell Jay why he's wrong about Tom Keen and why Tom Keen is the best.
Nobody is going to do that, man. You know what they're going to do? They're going to say, why does that dude love Tom Keen so much when he sucks? That's what they're going to say.
I will make sure that one person will write in one of our comments this season about how Tom Keen is great, and I don't care if I have to get people from so many shows to do it.
Nobody's doing it. Nobody's doing it, man. You're out of here. But Pete's right, man. Like us, follow us, check us out. We'll be back again next week. I'm Jay.
I'm Pete. So many shows, SoManyShows.com.
We'll see you next time.